Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video we will try to build out an application inside Fluent-FFMPEG which allows you to extract the frames inside a GIF animation, and we will be saving it as a image file, PNG image file of each frame of a GIF animation. So this is actually a application which runs in the browser localhost 3000. And I actually also deployed this application on my website freemediatools.com. So here you can check out this tool deployed live. So if I go to my website freemediatools.com, the latest tool that I added, which is this split GIF into images. So what this tool does, you can access the tool right here, try the live demo. So what this tool does, it actually allows you to upload any GIF animation. Let me choose this GIF animation. You can just see it's a GIF animation. I will select this file and simply click on upload GIF. So what I will do, so once I upload GIF, first of all the upload GIF animation will be uploaded. Now you can see in the uploads directory it will exactly tell you the starting time. Here you can manipulate in which time frame you want to split the GIF animation, or you can split the entire GIF. So if I click extract images, so you can see each frame inside GIF animation is will be captured and it will be converted to a PNG image file. So we can click download image, and now you can see each frame inside the GIF animation has been converted to an image file, and you can save an image file by clicking on download image. You can pick your frame inside GIF animation and save the image file like this. So in this way, I'm just basically having this in my, you can try this demo. Now let me show you this application is running on localhost 3000. If I do the same thing, let's suppose if I pick a different animation, let me pick this animation, click on upload GIF. So first of all, you can see as this animation is uploaded in the uploads directory. So after this, we can even provide we can change the starting time and the ending time as well. So let's suppose I only want to capture the frames between the second and the 6th second. I can put this timing. So in between those, it will capture each and every screenshot of this GIF animation, and it will split all the frames. So now you can click download image. So this is really useful application because in a GIF animation you want to extract all the frames or particular frames inside GIF animation. So this Fluent-FFMPEG application makes it really easy. It runs in the browser, and it is actually using this package Fluent-FFMPEG, which is actually a package which allows you to perform FFmpeg commands relatively easy. It has almost 7 lakh weekly downloads. You will see that. We are using this. Apart from that, we are using the Express backend server for actually hosting this application. 29 million downloads. For file uploads, we are using Malter, which is a really famous library for actually handling file uploads. Then we are using EJS, which is actually a template engine to actually write the HTML dynamically. We are using this 16 million weekly download. So now let's get started. All the source code is given in the description of this video. You can directly purchase it if you want the full source code with full directory structure and documentation as well. You can get the source code from Google Drive. After you make the payment, you will be redirected to Google Drive where you can actually get the source code. Before purchasing it, you can try the live demo. Just use this tool, and if you are interested you can purchase the full source code. So now let's get started. So what I will do, I will simply make a new directory, open it inside VS Code. So you can just see it is currently empty. Now we need to initialize a empty package.json file, so it will be created. Now we need to install Express for backend server, Malter for file upload, Fluent-FFmpeg, and EJS. These are the 4 modules. Express is for backend server, Malter is for file upload, Fluent-FFmpeg for EJS. So these are the 4 dependencies. Simply install this. So after this, we just need to make our index.js file. We also need to make a public folder, and inside make a folder called as images. So here all your output images will be stored. Apart from that, we will also be having a uploads directory where we'll be storing the input GIF file using Malter. Now we need to get started by invoking a very basic instance of Express server. So we need to require this. So we need to require Express. We need to make this listen on, you can say server is listening on 5000, and then we will be setting the view engine by using this method app set view engine, and we are using EJS template engine, and we will be actually be having a simple get request. So once someone goes to the, we will be rendering out index route, so index EJS file. So for this we need to create a views directory, and here we need to create index.ejs file. So here you will be writing the HTML code which will be shown to the user. You simply say GIF to images. So we will also be using the body parser middleware which is required. So we need to use it by the use function. In order to use the body parser middleware, express URL encoded, extended to false, and express.json. So these two lines are required because we are working with HTML forms, form data. That's why this body parser middleware is needed to include by these two lines. So after you do this, we also need to now write the basic form. So inside this form, what we will be doing, we will also be including Tailwind CSS. So simply include the CDN after the title of Tailwind CSS. So after this, right here, we will be giving some Tailwind classes to it of BG Gray 100 padding 4. So container MX auto, this will make it in the center, and we will be having a simple heading. So these are all Tailwind classes. GIF to image converter. So if you want to run this application, you can simply type nodemon index.js. This will start the application on port number 5000. If I just type, now you can see the application is perfectly running, and after this we now need to, after this heading we will have a simple form, and this form first of all allow the user to actually upload. We're making a post request to this slash upload route, encoding type multipart form data. So here you will be allowing the user to select a file. Name parameter will be giving GIF, and we will only be accepting GIF files, so dot GIF, and it should be required. And we will be giving MB4. So we also be giving some Tailwind classes to this form tag, which is margin bottom 8 text center. And then we will also be having a simple button to submit the form. Button type submit, BG blue 500, text white, padding 4 in the X direction, padding white 2 in the Y direction, and the button will be rounded, and the button will simply say upload GIF. So if you refresh the application, you will actually see a choose file button and a button. Just make sure that you put a break tag to have some spacing right here. So this is actually the interface which is ready. Now we need to actually go to index.js, and first of all we need to configure the Malter package which we installed for file upload. So right here you will require this package, require Malter. And now to actually configure this package, we need to make a storage object So storage, and we'll be using Malter dict storage. We will be storing the files in the physical storage. So it can basically have destination property. It will be a callback function, request file callback. So here we actually tell where to store it. We need to store it in the uploads directory that we created. And the second property is actually the file name. So what file name it will be having? Again, it will be a callback function. So here you can give a unique name, date.now. It will return unique name every time using this date function, and just concatenate the original name of the file, file.original name. So now this storage object we have created, this is just a setup process for Malter. Every time this will be the same, so we need to pass the storage object. Now this middleware is ready. Now we can actually make that request, the post request slash upload request response. So now we can basically pass this as a middleware. Just in between this upload.single, we need to upload a single file. So here we are simply providing the name parameter that we have given in the HTML. If you see, we do provide this name parameter, which is necessary. So just make sure that you provide the same name parameter. After this, after it get uploaded, it will return a file path like this, request.file.path. We can console log it. So if I just cross check, if I refresh, try to select a GIF file, click on upload, and if you see, it returns undefined. Uh, but if you see, guys, the file has been successfully uploaded in the directory, but it is returning undefined. Request.file.path. Sorry, this is, if you see now, it is actually printing out the full path. So now the code is working perfectly up till now. Now we need to get actually the file name of it. We can do it using path. For this, we do need to actually include a built-in package path, which is a built-in package. And right here, we will use the parse method, request.file.file name dot name. And similarly, to get the extension, we will use the same method, request.file.file name dot extension. So now why we are basically extracting this information, file name extension, we need to get actually the duration of the GIF file. So now to get the duration, we will be using a method called as ffprobe. ffprobe, if you know, first of all, we do need to include the package Fluent-FFMPEG. So we need to require the Fluent-FFMPEG package, and it actually contains a method called as ffprobe, which actually returns the metadata of the media file. We will be providing the GIF animation file, and it returns a callback function, and inside this function it returns metadata about the media file. So if any sort of error take place, we can actually console log it, and if no error take place, then we can actually pass the duration using this object metadata format.duration. It will return the basically how much long the GIF animation is in seconds. Then we need to basically format this by using a new date duration in seconds. We need to multiply this by 1000, and then we need to convert this into ISO string. And we need to use the substring, and we only need the, so here we are actually changing it to this format. So we are actually changing this time to be in this format, hour, minute, second. This is actually, it will return this. We do need to like this. So after we get this formatted duration, now what we need to do, so after this, now we need to render this information in the HTML or EJS. So how we can do that? We can again re-render the template response.render index, and here we can provide this parameters. Duration will be the formatted duration, images will be null, GIF file name will be the actual GIF file name that we have, and the extension. So these four things that we are passing right here as variables to this index.ejs template. So now we just need to make sure we initialize all these things to null also right here whenever we are initializing it. So these will be null. Now we are actually re-rendering this template. This is actually the advantage of using EJS, because you can re-render the template at any time. So we are passing this information to the directly to this template index.ejs. Now we can show this information. So how we can show this? We can use some conditional rendering. So that's why it is called as embedded JavaScript template, because you can use JavaScript directly right here. So how we can do this? We can conditionally render the form. So we can put a if condition if the duration is not null. In that case, we need to close the if bracket right here. So it is exactly telling that if the duration has some property, then in that case this form will have some properties. So it is telling us that if the duration is not defined, in that case show this form, and in the else block like this, if the duration has some value, in that case we need to define a second form which will actually be having a property. Will be making a simple post request to this route to actually extract the images from the GIF animation. We're giving a margin bottom 8 text center. So right here we'll be showing we will having some input fields which will be hidden. It will not be displayed in the UI, but it will contain this information, which is the value GIF file name. So what is actually the file name of so we can dynamically put these variables like this using the syntax of EJS. This is actually the variable name that you are getting. So similarly, we can have a second input field which will also be hidden. This time this will be holding the GIF extension. And after we put these two things, now we will also be having, this will be for the start time. So here we'll be showing the input field where the user can select the start time and the end time based upon how much long is the GIF animation. This will for the start time. So here we'll be having input type text and basically be giving a name parameter to it. Start time, and here the value will start from the 0, 0, 0, 0. This is a format. It will be incremented by 1 second, and the class will be px2 py1 rounded. And also one more attribute we will be giving to it. We will be repeating it for the next one, which will be having the end time. So here the user can select the end time of the GIF animation. So this will be equal to the variable that we are getting, which is the duration. So instead of this hard-coded value, we will put it dynamically, which is duration. So if you try to actually run this now, let me pick a GIF animation, click on upload GIF. Now if you see, it will re-render the template, and now if you see, it will show the total duration of the GIF animation. Automatically, all these values are hard-coded in the input field. So we actually showing all this data that we are sending it from the Node.js to this EJS template. We are showing all this data, re-rendering it. So now we also need to have a button after these two input fields to actually, this button will actually say extract images. So what we will be doing, we will be having button type submit. So it will have a basically a tailwind class. Text will be white, px4, py2, rounded. So right here I was telling guys, in both these input fields we do need to attach a event which will on blur event. You can attach it on blur. So whenever you change the value of this, you will actually need to execute a function right here, validate time format. This, so we need to attach to both these input fields. So right at the top we can define this function. So this will make sure it is showing the time in a correct manner. So we can define this function using some regular expression. Let me just paste the function and then explain to you what it is actually doing. This is actually the overall function. It is taking the input time and it is converting to the time that is required, hour, minute and second. So basically whatever, if you type this, you have this button. If you change the value, if you try to write like this, you will get an error. This error, invalid time format, please use this format. So if you don't actually provide this function, then the user can submit a text value, so which is not required. That's why we are adding this function to actually validate the input which is filled by the user. So now after this, we now need to define this slash extract post request to actually use Fluent-FFMPEG to actually convert the GIF animation to images. So right here, what this function will do, it will first of all need to extract all the details, which is the GIF file name, the start time, the end time, and the GIF extension from this request.body. We are destructuring it, all these four entries, and now we need to actually construct the path.join using the name. We perfectly know it is present in the uploads directory, GIF file name plus GIF extension. So in this way we actually construct the path of the input field. That's why we pass these things, file name and extension, to the index EJS route, EJS file. Now we need to actually tell the output where should be the output should be stored. So we need to actually constructed a public, inside the public directory we have constructed a folder called as images. So inside this the output will be shown. So here you can just provide the location, GIF file name. It will create this directory, and here we will be checking if the directory doesn't exist, and for this we do need to use the file system module to actually do the file system in Node.js. We do need to require the built-in module. So here we'll be simply be checking that if this directory doesn't exist, then in that case we do need to create a directory. Now to create the directory, we use the make directory string function in Node.js using the file system module, and you can provide an option right here, recursive to true. So after you do this, now we need to extract the frames from GIF as images. So now to extract those frames, Fluent-FFMPEG has a, we need to pass the GIF path first of all. Now we can chain the methods one by one. So it has this method called as set start time. You can provide the start time. It also has a method set duration. You can provide here the end time. Then it has a various events that you can listen for. One such event is this is file names event. So here inside this, it actually returns all the file names as inside the callback function. So here you can simply say console log generating images. And then we also has an event for when the function is ended, when the process is ended, this callback function will be executed. And here we can say GIF conversion finished. So now here we can just call the save method, and this will actually be triggering the process. Here we can provide the file name that needs to be there, the structure, output directory slash frame. So here we are simply using some regular expression for the images which will be constructed 03d.png. So in this way, in the output directory, all these images will be constructed. Once the process is finished, this method GIF conversion finished will be printed out in the console. Now let me just execute this and see if it is working. Let me pick my GIF animation, click on upload GIF, click on extract images, and if you now see, it is saying to me that no such file or directory, error opening input file. Let me see guys if we are getting all these things correctly or not. I think let me pick the GIF animation. If you now see, the file is uploaded in the uploads directory, but when I click this button extract images, so these things, if you see, the extension is coming but the file name is not coming. I think I some inside my right here give file name, we have given this property. Let me check. So here we are passing this variable is give file name. In the index.ejs route, if you see, Uh, Let me paste the code, guys, just to save some time. You will basically find all the source code in the description. You can purchase it. I think I've just made some kind of typo mistake right here. Let me delete this part. And this is my extract request. Let me also paste this. Sometimes in coding, guys, typo mistake does happen, and if I refresh it now, if I choose my GIF animation, just wait, let me just let me rerun this. So if you now see, it is saying that GIF conversion finished. We got the message. It was just a typo mistake, guys, and now if you see all the frames that were there, all the frames which are there in the GIF animation has been converted to images, PNG images. And now the task is really simple. We need to show these images in the browser with a download button. So what we need to do, if you see, we were there basically in the last section. So after we get all these images, we need to read the directory by using the file system read method. So we'll simply use the file system dot read directory, and this directory is output directory. This will have the callback function error files. If any sort of error take place, then we can show this error. If no error take place, then we can simply construct image paths. You can just see here, for each file present, it will be present in the images folder, and it will be coming GIF file name slash the actual file. So in this way you can construct the image paths. Now we can re-render this re-render the index template by passing these images to be image paths, and we can make this duration to be null. GIF file name, GIF file name, GIF extension, GIF extension. So now if I go back to index.ejs, so now this duration property will become null, and now this will not be shown. So conditionally it will change, and now we will be adding a new property, new if condition just after this. If the images are there, in that case, just close this. So we basically will be looping through all the images. So we'll be having a grid where we'll be showing 4 images per grid. So now you'll be using simple for each loop. For each image, we'll be using a image tag. We'll be showing this image. We have given some tailwind classes right here. And also we'll be having a anchor tag so that when we click the download button, the image will download. Giving a download attribute to it, and also a class of bg green 500 text white tx4 py2 rounded block. The text here will be simply download image. So that's complete this application, and if you see, I think I need to shift this button on the next W full MB4, sorry, W4 MB4. So we do need to actually make it a div tag just surrounding this. So div bg white padding, we also need to add the padding as well. Rounded shadow. So we need to surround both these elements with this div tag. Now it will look something like this. So now you can see for each image there is a download button. So if you click this button, the image will be downloaded. You can basically try this with any GIF animation. Let's suppose this one that you can even get the full duration. This GIF animation is 7 seconds long. So let's suppose you can even pick your time here, time period. You can manipulate this. I only want the screenshots to be in between this 4 to 6. Click on extract images, and now you can see all your screenshots have been taken, and you can save this as a PNG file. This is really useful application, guys. The full source code is given in the description. You can try this full demo, which is hosted on my website freemediatools.com, before purchasing the full source code. The link is given in the description to actually purchase the full source code from my website procodestore.com. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel as well, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video.